In today's demo, you'll see how SAP SuccessFactors Learning alongside 360Learning empowers organizations to maximize skill growth and learning mobility across their workforce. SAP SuccessFactors and 360Learning have partnered to deliver a collaborative learning experience, boosting engagement and learning outcomes for all. Combining the integrated system of record in SAP SuccessFactors Learning Management System with the fully configurable collaborative learning academies in an LXP environment, organizations can fine-tune and deliver powerful learning experiences, capturing the knowledge from their experts and then tailored to their workforce needs. So let's jump in and see what this looks like firsthand from the perspective of Jeff. One of the first things that Jeff does in his morning is check in via SAP SuccessFactors. Here you can see all of his approvals right on the homepage. But Jeff is interested in his career development and what he can do with the skills that he has and what skills he needs to learn to progress to the next role. With the new growth portfolio, Jeff has visibility into all of his skills, the ones that he's currently learning, the ones that are critical to the business, and also ones that he's passionate in. He can even see recommended skills based on the activities that he's been doing. Now these skills will link to the roles and aspirations that Jeff is currently looking at. We can see that here he wants to be in operations, and so he can look at what skills are required in order to get to that role. Now whilst Jeff has made some progress, he clearly has some skill gaps that need to be addressed. But in the growth portfolio, Jeff can see the skills he needs to improve versus the skills he already has and how they fit towards that role. He can also see some personalized learning opportunities as well as assignments that can help him upskill in a different way. But the first thing that Jeff does is create a goal to track his progress and start to work towards his career development plans. Using generative AI, Jeff has created a development goal based on his prompt to upskill in operations, and we can see the recommendations here include finding online courses and learning opportunities for him to upskill in this area. So with this call to action, Jeff knows exactly where he needs to go. Now that his organization has implemented 360Learning, he knows that there may be a course or a learning path that will suit his needs right now. So let's take a look. Jeff can access 360Learning via a card on his homepage, and here he has all of the content he needs in a much more structured manner. He can read all about the latest company upskilling initiatives, including in operations, as well as being able to search through the content on 360Learning in a much more structured way. He can even sort and filter to find the exact type of learning that suits his learning preferences, and bringing together the power of 360Learning skill mapping and the Talent Intelligence Hub, his organization can identify key skill gaps throughout their workforce and then create or deploy relevant content to address this. And by bringing in learning items from the SuccessFactors learning management system into this experience platform, organizations can encourage employees to proactively discover and address relevant learning needs to benefit wider business objectives, as well as the employee's own career development goals. Now, as Jeff is browsing through the courses available on 360Learning, he spots a few that might not be relevant to his particular search now, but would be interesting for him at a later date. So, he can quickly create a playlist of courses that he'll come back to later that he can explore in his own time. But Jeff wants to make sure that he can upskill in operations quickly, and so from his homepage he can launch a learning path. Similar to programs and curricula in SuccessFactors, 360Learning expands on this by combining multiple types of content into a seamless, asynchronous journey for employees to follow. All of the learning items here, as well as the users and their learning history, are pulled directly from the SuccessFactors LMS as the system of record. 360Learning leverages the data already held within the LMS to surface content, whether it's an online course, an expert-created course, or an instructor-led engagement. And when Jeff completes a course, the completion status is sent back to the LMS, ensuring that he has a record of this and that the skills that he has acquired are then brought back to the growth portfolio. Crucially, this means that Jeff's organization can provide an engaging and guided learning journey for him without the administrative burden of manually syncing and recording the trainings completed within the 360 Learning platform. So for Jeff, this provides him with a pathway to reach the skills that he needs to get to that operations role he's after. And by combining a mixture of online versus instructor-led courses, he'll feel engaged and ready to take the next step. But what happens when organizations don't have the content just yet that they need in order to build these learning paths? With 360 Learning, administrators have the flexibility to create courses directly from within the platform. With 360 Learning, administrators have a variety of options in terms of surfacing and configuring content to support their organizational needs. Administrators can now use the power of generative AI to draft courses directly from a prompt. This ensures a faster drafting time and best practices on how to build these courses baked in throughout. This means that organizations can rapidly adapt to the changing needs of their workforce, as well as capitalize on growth areas with quick time to action on building courses that are relevant for their needs. For someone like Jeff, this means that he can provide feedback to the organization around what they're currently offering, and the organization can quickly respond and build the right content that will support his development. Now, once the course draft has been generated using AI, administrators can view the variety of content types, including assessments, that have been added to engage learners like Jeff. Moving on, administrators can also extend the scope of their existing learning items, whether they're courses or supplementary materials in curricula or programs, with a variety of tools. For instance, an administrator can enhance a particular piece of learning content, such as a PDF, with this generative AI functionality. Once the administrator has uploaded the document, it can generate a course from the content for her in minutes. Now, once that's complete, Anya can go in and access this new course directly. And it's taken the PDF and broken it down into clear, digestible chunks with the inclusion of these micro-assessments. So this ensures that static content, or even just an idea of what content they want to produce, can deliver a greater experience with no additional work for the administrator. But of course, the next step is to monitor the effectiveness of these learning items and courses and the overall learning experience. Now, in 360 Learning, organizations can see the visual breakdown of all of the analytics within the platform. They can look at the engagement scores of their particular learning items, as well as looking at completions or course engagement, or even at an individual user level as well. And to ensure that the organization can manage a single version of the truth across their entire learning stack, they can export all of this data directly into SuccessFactors, so that key data can be used within their system of record to monitor and improve learning outcomes for each and every employee. With SAP SuccessFactors and 360 Learning, employees like Jeff can address those skills gaps that make sure that they're on their way to reaching their career goals. Now that Jeff has completed his learning path in 360 Learning, the skills have automatically updated in his growth portfolio, meaning he's now one step closer to that dream role. For more information, visit the SAP SuccessFactors website or check out 360 Learning's website in the description.